Hello everyone, welcome back to our virtual classroom. We've got a lot of work to do today, and especially a lot of stuff to catch up on after spring break. Okay, so let's get tuned, grab your instrument. Here is your A. Your D. G. Your C. If you're viola or cello. And your E. All right, remember to rewind that as many times as you need to get your instrument nice and tuned. Grab your parents, let them lend a ear, and if they break it, then they buy it anyway. So it's best that parents help out with this. All right. So for our warm-ups today, make sure that you grab your bow, get all the members on the bow, and we're going to move on to a new variation in the twinkle variation rhythms. I may have done this once or twice with you before, but now we're really going to make sure that we get it done. All right, so the way this variation goes, actually I'm going to start with my bow today. After you get all your members on the boat like this, remember cello's basses, you're like this, okay? Hold it vertical, and you're going to go down, wiggle, up, wiggle, down, wiggle, up, wiggle. Okay, this is called variation C, or like I like to call it, long, little, long, little, long, little, long, little. Okay? All right, so long, little, and we're going to do that on D 8 times. Do it with me, please. 1, 2, ready, go. Play that with me as many times as you need to, and we're going to get through the whole song of Twinkle Twinkle Variation. I'll play the melody, you play that on the D. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and... On the same bow stroke? If not, practice that as many times as you need to. Very important that you get the rhythm just right. We start on this part of the bow, and then we go to this part of the bow. Then this part, then this part. Down, wiggle at the middle, up, wiggle at the frog. Down, wiggle at the middle, up, wiggle at the frog. Okay? Alright, so that's variation C. That's our warm-up for right now. We also have a couple other things to warm up on. If you've done this exercise before, or if you haven't, turn to page 26, and I want to show you a couple of things. First thing that you should see on page 26 is a picture at the top that shows you all the fingerings that you need on G. If we put one finger down on G for violins, violas, and cellos, first finger down on G is A. Okay? Say them out loud. Second finger is B. Next finger is C. Now, of course, bass is a little bit different because it's got a lot wider of a strings. So we're going to be working on the E and the A string for bass, okay? One finger down is F, and it is exactly F sharp, not just F, okay? So F's. And then second finger down is G. Then we go on the A string. First finger down is B. Second finger down is C, okay? So we've got a half step interval between F sharp and G on the E string, and a half step interval from B to C on the A string. Okay? So that should be just a normal first position. Make sure that you're using this nice shape. Okay? Okie dokie. We're going to move on, and I want to just teach you a little bit about the next orange box that you see where it says new key signature G major. We've worked in G major before, but look at the difference here. It only has one hashtag or one sharp sign. That means the F is still sharp, but C is not sharp. We'll talk about how to do that in just a minute. But basically what that means is that you're not going to play C as close to the fingerboard as you used to. It's going to be a lot more conservative. Cellos, now is a good time to talk about this because you're going to see it later on in your music. If you go on the A string, now violins are a little bit different, but if you go on your highest string, first and second finger, then that is C natural, okay? So that's how you play in the key of G major for cellos, okay? It's the same thing for violins and violas too, but you have to be on the A string, low 2 instead of a high 2. If that is new to you guys, don't worry about that. Only cello has to worry about that right now. Okay, so moving on, I want you to take a look at the other thing that we have called ledger lines. You may notice that we've got the staff, right? And hopefully you're following along in your book too, so you have a better visual representation than this. But you've got your staff, and then you've got lines that are above or below that. Those are called ledger lines. You can think of it like you're hanging on a ledge. It's extra, longer space, farther away, whatever. However you want to think about that, that's what a ledger line is. And what it does is it basically just expands the staff. So if you're thinking of your top note, you go the next space above that, that's the next note. And then the next space above, or the next line above that is another note. And it just keeps going on as many times as we need to get the higher notes. Your instrument can play a lot more notes than just fit on the staff. That's why ledger lines exist. And you'll see that as you work through the exercises 93, 94, 95, and 96. I've put a link to that in Smart Music. So head on to Smart Music and do those exercises now so I can get some feedback on how well you know those notes, okay? All right. For knowing where those notes lie, just look at your pictures. Smart Music will go green if you've got it right, and it'll turn red if you've got it wrong. So that'll be the feedback you need instantly for that. Okay, so I'm going to let you take care of that virtually. Let the program do its job. Right now, you pause that and do those exercises, and when you're done, come back. Okay, so hopefully you're back now, and we're going to do one more thing on Smart Music. I forgot to tell you. You should see the assignment for Frere Jacques and Can-Can. If you haven't passed that already, I'd recommend you go back to Smart Music and do those now. We've got a lot of music to learn. Not hard music, but just a lot. So review those, and we're going to be moving on, okay? Awesome. So do that now and come back to this video. Pause. All right, and you're back. So now we're going to be learning a new piece of music, and the link to this should either be on the same page as the announcements, where you will see like violin music, violin 1 music, violin 2 music, viola music, cello music, bass music. And that will have all the rest of the songs that we're playing that's not in your method book, your Essential Elements book. And unfortunately, those songs are not on Smart Music yet. I will try to get them on as soon as possible, but for sake of teaching, I figured it would be better to introduce you to them first before I require them on Smart Music. So take note of that. Today, we're going to focus on Ode to Joy. Now, Ode to Joy is just like the one we did in our book. That was exercise 86 in your book. So you can take a look at that if you want. But there are a few things different, and I want to note those now. The first thing that you should note is that if you're going along, well, first, if you're not a first violinist, a violin number 1 part, you may notice that your notes are completely different from what we did in class. That's because what we did in class was the melody, and that's belonging to the first violin for the first measure. Everyone else, you've got something different. Violin 2, you've got something like this. gonna try that again. Okay, we're gonna edit that out. Here we go. Violin 2, you should have something like this. Anyway, so the reason why I bring that up is because everyone else, you're playing harmony, okay? So we're gonna complete a nicer, fuller sound with different notes that are played together. Sometimes, though, if you're not a first violinist, you will be playing the melody while the violins take a break. Explore that and see where you get the melody. But for everybody, the new thing that we should learn together is on measure 4. You may notice that we have a dotted note. So the counting for this one, we're going to do together. And I would highly recommend you write this down in your music when you print it off. Okay? So we're going from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and... Okay? Do that as many times as you need to get that caught up. You may see it again at measure 8. You'll see it again a lot later on. Look at measure 12. Measure 12 is a little bit different. I'm going to clap and count that one for violins and violas. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and make sure that you pulse on the half note. For cello, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and for bass, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and just like the violins and violas. Okay. Also look at measure 16. Measure 16 has the 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and again. So does measure 20. Now notice measure 20, cellos and basses and violas. You have that music, but violins notice that you don't. That's the part where they have the melody and you don't. It's also at measure 24. It's also at measure, or the last measure of the whole thing. So to prepare for this, what we're going to do is we're going to grab our bows, because we've already clapped it. Now we're going to grab our bows, and we're going to go down, down, up. Down, down, up. Do it 2 more times. Down, down, up. Down, down, up. Now notice how I'm going slow, quick, slow. Or quick, slow, quick, quick. But I'm going to the first 2 strokes in the same direction. Down, down, up. Down, down, up. That's also the hook bow action that we're looking for right there. Down, down, up. Okay? Let's do it on our D strings, please. Everyone, whatever instrument you are, just grab their D string, and we're going to simulate what's going on in measure 4 and the rest of those that I mentioned. Ready? And. Again. Ready, go. Okay, that's the action there. Now, cellos and, well, just cellos. Let's do that on the A string now, okay? Ready, and. Again. Ready, go. Okay, so that's that part right there. Now, let's do the actual notes, okay? Here is first violin. Ready? F's, E, E. Ready, and... Okay, now here's second violin part. It is D, A, A. Now, aren't you glad that you practiced those new notes on Essential Elements, okay? Here we go. I would recommend you put your first finger down already on the G string. Make a nice little tunnel so that you can play on the D string and switch to the G string. It's going to go like this. Okay, D, A, A. Ready, go. Again, ready, go. All right, so that should be really, really good for you guys. That's exactly the same part for the viola. So viola, make sure you practice that as well. First finger down on the G string, and then go from D, G, G. And that's that. Okay. Cellos, you're gonna go A, C, C's. This is a C sharp, so make sure you're playing it with third finger. 1, 2, ready, and. Again, 2, ready, and. Alright, that should do that. And then bass, you're going to go from D, A, A. Oh my gosh, that's the same thing as the second violins and the violas. Do it with me. But remember, this is open A. You don't have to put any fingers down. You have an open D to an open A. I'm going to put my finger down because I'm on a violin. Again, ready, go. Did you go down, down, up? Okay. Down, down, up. So work on that if you need to, guys. It should be really cool. All right. Let's see. The next one is at measure 8. Everything is pretty much the same there, except some people are changing direction. Here is the second violin and the bass part. Measure 8. Listen closely. You're going to go A, D, D. Separate those if you need to. And remember bass, that it's just an open A to an open D. Second violins and not just second violins. You've got a first finger down on that A. Okay, but that's what it sounds like. Let's la 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 la. Let's see. Violas. You've got a nice little one on A, so practice that with your open A. Again, ready, go. That's that. And cellos, you've got one that goes from A string to the D string. Make sure that you hold your F sharp down on the D string. Mine's with 2 fingers. You're going to do it with 3. You're going to go A, F, Fs. Okay, remember you go down, down, up. Ready, go. Again, ready, go. Again, ready, go. That's what that should sound like. Okay. You'll notice that I'm doing a lot of things here. I'm noticing when those rhythms take place, but also what strings they're on. And if it goes to a string with a finger down, I put that finger down already before I get to the new string. Okay. So I'd highly recommend you working on that. There's a few more in there. Practice those today, and then work on the song as quick as you can. By next class time, it should appear on Smart Music, and it will be due. So I'd like you to work on it, practice those parts, play through the song, and then I'll see you again next time. All right. Before I leave you, though, second finger on the A string, cellos. We're at measure 29. It should sound something like this. Okay, so make sure that you get that nice second finger on the A string. It's about this far away for your instrument. Okay, before I leave you, let me make sure that I let you know you can call me anytime. Notice the email that I send you. My number is 385-242-8316. I don't normally do this. I don't give my number out to parents and kids, but I'm doing that now. So between 8 and 4 o'clock each day, feel free to call me so you can ask me any questions there. Also, you can email me anytime during those hours. I'll have my email open and ready to respond instantly as best as I can on school days to emails. And also, if you have a question specific to this lesson that you'd like me to address by next lesson, then leave a comment on the discussion or the announcement below. Okay? I hope you guys are doing well. Take care of yourselves and have fun with this music. Bye-bye.